All right, it's time to introduce you to negative exponents. So first let's start with positive exponents. I want to take this negative exponent and make it into a positive exponent. So first of all, let's take a second and remind ourselves of this pattern that we worked on before. I think I used 2's last time. All right, so 5 squared you know is 25. 5 to the first is 5, and 5 to the 0 power is 1, because anything to the first or to the 0 power is 1. Remember, in order for us to go this way, I multiply by a fifth. Okay? So here I multiply by a fifth, or we can say we divide it by 5. So if I kept going with this pattern, what would 1 times a fifth be? Well, it would be 1/5. So in order for us to get a negative fraction into be a positive fraction, we need to put it in its opposite position. Currently, the 3 is in the numerator. If I take that 3 to the negative 4th and put it in the denominator, I will have gotten rid of the negative exponent. That's all you have to do. So moving on. M to the negative 2 would simply be 1 over m squared. 5 to the negative 3 is 1 over 5 cubed, and then 1 over y to the 6th. Notice it never said to you evaluate this. It just said to write it expressed using a positive exponent. If it said then evaluate, then you would do 1 over 125. So now we're going to reverse it. That means I have 1 over 125. I know that's the same thing as 1 over 5 cubed. In order for me to make a negative exponent, I bring it up from the denominator and put it in the numerator. Just like that. So we're reversing what you just learned. And if you didn't know it was 125, then you could do a prime factorization factor tree. So 1 over 32, think about 1 over 32 is equal to the same thing as 1 over 2 to the 5th, which is the same thing as 2 to the negative 5th. An atom is an incredibly small unit of matter. The smallest atom has a diameter of approximately 1/10 of a nanometer, or this very small number. So what I want you to do is I want you to write this decimal as a fraction and as a power of 10. So remember, here's what I want you to remember. Negative exponents make fractions. They make fractions. It's another way for us to represent a fraction. So if you look at every one of these, a negative exponent makes a very small number, okay? So don't forget that. A positive exponent makes a big number. Negative exponents make small numbers. They make fractions. Fractions make decimals. So technically, I want you to use the power of 10, and you know it's going to be to a negative because it's a decimal. So you have to figure out how many places, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, to get to the very, very back of the 1. And I would have to jump 10 spaces. So this would be 10 to the negative 10. That's all you have to do. So count your zeros. So I'm going to do that one more time. Let's say I had this. That's going to be 10 to the negative 4. Remember, you're not counting zeros. You're not counting zeros. You're counting how many places would it take to move the decimal all the way to the back. That's where I'm getting the negative 4, not counting zeros. So try that one. 10 to the negative 6, because you would have to jump 6 spaces to get to the very back. R to the negative 2, So first I would start off with r to the negative 2. Then I would say that's the same thing as 1 over r squared, because you can't do anything with a negative exponent. You have to turn it into a positive exponent before you can do anything with it. Now remember, that's a package. R is all of this. So I'm going to square all of it, which is 1 over 16. So take it from your negative exponent, make it to your positive exponent by taking the reciprocal of it, putting it in its opposite position, then bringing this down, squaring the negative 4 to get 16. Remember, negative exponents don't make negative numbers. They make fractions, okay? So you have to remember that. Negative exponents equal fractions. Well, we couldn't get that S in it. Okay, so this one, you have d to the negative 3, which is equal to 1 over d cubed, which is equal to 1 over 5 cubed, which is equal to 1 over 125. So notice all the steps. I went from the negative exponents to creating it as a positive, to substituting the value for the variable, to evaluate. Okay, make sure you show all that. And that's it. So just remember, negative exponents are going to make small numbers. They're going to make fractions. You want to put them in their opposite position. Now let me show you something real quick. Let's say I had x to the negative 2, y cubed, x to the negative 4. No, I mean x. Jeez, whatever. Let's try it again. X to the negative 2, y to the 4th. Let's do p to the negative 3. And I said to you, make this all positive exponents. You draw your fraction line. Anything positive stays in its position. Anything negative goes in the opposite position. And that would be your answer. Okay.